This week we received this. This is the TC Signature, which is a new Diana series headphone from Abyss. Now the TC Signature takes the direction that was set with the DZ and it goes a bit further. So we've got a brighter, more open sound, and we also have some design improvements like a lighter aluminium frame, and also we get that nice suspension headband that was originally featured in the DZ. Now at 72 ohms of impedance and 90 decibels of sensitivity, the TC Signature is actually a pretty hard to drive headphone. Abyss themselves recommend an amplifier that produces at least 2 watts. 2 watts is a pretty conservative and a pretty safe recommendation, especially if you listen to classical music, which is recorded at a lower gain. Now, in terms of sound, Abyss states that they were aiming for more of a reference tuning with the TC Signature. So you do still get that tactile bass rumble that I've come to expect with Abyss headphones, and that's probably my favorite aspect of the Abyss sound. But this headphone in particular is tuned to be brighter and more open. And on a technical level, this is probably the best Abyss headphone that I've heard so far. So in terms of clarity and detail resolution and having a nice natural open soundstage, this is a really good headphone. However, in terms of the overall tuning, personally, this isn't my favorite tuning from Abyss. My main issue is with the high frequencies. They're quite bright on the TC Signature, and at times they can be a bit raw and fatiguing. I think this tuning does work better for some genres more than others. So if I was a classical music listener, if I was a jazz listener, I think this works really well. But for pop and EDM, I think it's a bit bright. Now, it is important to note that the TC Signature ships with the bass ported pads by default. You can swap out with the other pads, and I've tried the hybrid pads with the TC Signature, and I do find that the highs do get smoothed out a little bit, but you also lose that bass rumble. Now, personally, my favorite Abyss headphone is still the Diana MR, which trades that clarity and resolution that you get with the TC Signature with something that's a bit more mellow and fun sounding. But if you do want something that's more ruthless, something that is the best that in terms of detail and resolution that Abyss has to offer, then the TC Signature is definitely a step up. Anyway, come in, have a listen, let us know what you think. This is Lachlan for Minidisc TV, and we'll catch you next time.